Hello and welcome back to Scratch Your Farm Models. So today we are doing an unboxing of two really nice models. There's a Ros Valtra, which we end up fixing the linkage on, and also a Class Scorpion telehandler. So for the Valtra, on the box, it's made by Ros, as it says down there. It's a Valtra A104, it's got a front loader. It's a bit of information on the top. It's Machine of the Year 2017. There's a picture of the real one on the back, although it's in red instead of white like this one. So on the side there's not that much, it's just what it is but without the front loader. So we'll get it open. Packaged quite well. So one thing I'm going to be doing it is these links here. This lets it be a CQ linkage, because at the moment it's like a Viking one. So I want to get some Viking attachments, but they're very expensive, so use the CQ ones when I can. So I'll put them onto it since I don't have any Viking attachments apart from the firewood processor. So we'll get it out. There's no bits of tape in here to hold it together. So it's a very nice model. It doesn't have loads of weight to it, but it's reasonable. So very nice front loader, working really well. It's riveted on, so you can't unscrew it. The bonnet does open to a degree, not very far, because if you open it any further it's just blank space, but if you do it like that you can see some detailing on the engine. On the back, got the 3-point link. I like these linkages because they can be adjusted, so they can go for different attachments. So that's quite loose, which is probably because you can take these off. So we're going to take this off in a minute and put them other arms on it. So the mirrors come out, door opens, back window opens. It is a very nice model all over. So just for size reference, that's the Kubota up alongside it. So there isn't loads of difference, but there is still a fair bit. So if you put it like that, you should be able to try and get it so you can see it on the camera, sort of the size difference. So anyway, we'll get on and do the back linkage. So we've got to take this off, swap out the arms. So yeah, let's get on with it. So we're gonna get these arms out. They're very flimsy, so you just got to be careful. Don't just yank them out, cut the two. So they're metal. I thought they would be plastic, but it's quite nice that they're metal. So to get to the screws to take these arms off, we have to take the whole linkage off, which is held on by a screw where the PTO is. Put them mirrors in so I don't break it. So there's the linkage off. Don't know what that is there, but anyway. So we've got the linkage off now. So now we're going to unscrew it there and there. So we'll do one side at a time so we can see which way it goes back together. Never done this before in a model, so this is new to me. That's that screw off. So they're your depth arms. Then we take the back screw out. Wiggle that out so you can see that's like the Wilkin, the realistic hitch. So I don't think there's a side in particular it needs to go. Looks like, to me, it looks like it should go that way. Yes, so that's bent over there, that'll work. Line this up. So I'll put a time lapse of this because this is going to take quite a while. So it's all put together now. A bit disappointed with it. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, I was quite surprised that you could change these out. But it's too wide to put a lot of the attachments on. So like the topper and the Bomford cultivator, it's fine. But the bale dump is just falling off of it. I've looked at swapping them around, but I just don't think it's doable. And yeah. But still, it's really great. You can't normally do this. Alright, so that link arm's bent. That one's in alignment, but it means that a lot of the attachments drop off. Did think about leaving it, but then my dad came up with an idea which I thought was pretty clever. Well, it's not clever, it's just more common sense. I've got a couple of boiling water. Because it's metal, I'm going to drop it in it and it'll make it slightly more malleable so I can bend it without it snapping, but I still won't be able to bend it much. There is a chance because it is so thin it will snap straight away, but I have got a second set of link arms, so I'm going to take the chance. So I'm going to put the arm in separately purely because the rest of this is plastic. Well, not all of it, but it's got plastic parts. I don't want them getting melted. So we'll take it off. Got our link arm. You can see that in the boiling water. Don't know how long to leave this for. Oh crap, I dropped it in it. Whoops, didn't mean to drop it in it, but there it is. It's not too hot. So that's going to be there. Bend that in. That worked. It did actually bend in. I didn't bend it by a lot because I didn't want to, but so if we put this back in here roughly without putting screws in, bend it that way slightly. Oh, that should just about work, so we'll put it back together and see how it is. So that works, so I'm really pleased with that. I was very doubtful if that was going to work or not, and it has, if you don't smack it off. So yeah, that works well now, I'm pleased with that. So we'll get it back on the tracks now. So I was looking at some pictures of these online, and they have a PTO piece that sticks out where the screw is. So I think I might have lost that in the box or somewhere. but it doesn't bother me too much. So it's not a major part. I was quite surprised you could change the linkage at all on this, so that in itself makes up for it. So I think they should make all models like this, that you can change the linkage, because it's like the Wilking Universal Hobbies tractors. More people get them than the implements, because it is all more expensive stuff. People are more likely to spend 40 quid on a tractor than 40 quid on a mower, and they could get a mower that, to be fair, with a little bit of work and gluing on some lines, isn't much different at all. So that's on a solid. We lift them up. Like that. So that's worked really well. We still got the top link there for the detail, even though it's not going to get used that much. So that's that. Right, so we're now onto the Class Scorpion by Wilking. So I got a pretty good deal on this. It's the only reason I've bought these two models, is there was such a good deal on them. I've been looking to sort of start upgrading to some nicer stuff, but it's not cheap by any means. So I got a good deal on this. I think I ended up saving £35 between both of them by the end of it, which is another model, so I did quite well with that. So we'll get it out the box. So this would be my second Viking model. So it comes nicely packed as always, which is what I like about these Vikings. Then we got the picture of the machine on the front and what it is, bit of information on the back, and like, yeah, 1 to 32 scale there, 14 plus, metal and plastic parts. So your standard stuff that you would expect. So it's labelled top, which is handy, I guess. So here it is. So this is a Class Scorpion telehandler. It's a very nice model. My first sort of impressions of it is it's not a small telehandler, it's quite a big one. So if I get the little John Deere, the 3400, it's a lot bigger. Not so much height, but width. So it's got quite a lot more power to it, or it would have. So it's got all the mirrors, which is really nice. All folds out. It's got one thing I like about these Vikings is all the very detailed engine. So you can see there you got your muffler, top injectors. You can just about see your fan belt and your timing gauge. And then you got the radiator at the front. You got the exhaust. At the back, very nice again, adjustable hitch. On the cab, shut that a second. We've got very realistic, like you would have in like you have in real life, 2 doors that open. So a lot of the time in the summer, I don't do it so much now, but when we used to have an older telehandler, some of the old ones we used to have, the aircon went in it, so you'd drive around like that all day long. But with the newer ones, we got a Wackerneeson that's aircon works well. So, but a lot of the time you see farmers driving around like that, or even with both of them open. And it's a nice feature that it is a split door like they are. And then you've got very detailed cab. So it's got a good range. So it's longer arm than I'll ever need for the main of our modelling, main of my model stuff. So then we'll put a comparison of the John Deere, which is on the display at the moment. So yeah, that's just a bit of a comparison for you, because it is a much bigger machine. So the only thing that I'm noticing that I don't like on this model is it's got a plastic headstock, and when you're changing buckets these headstocks do get quite a bit of wear, so I'm not sure if it'd be better having a plastic or a metal one. So I didn't buy any Viking attachments because 35 quid for a few grabs seemed too much money for me, or more of the fact that it seemed a bit stupid to pay that when I could just adapt everything I've got to fit. So I've already had it out of the box once, I always do with these unboxing videos, just to make sure it's not wrecked. And I've cut that out of these forks that I've got to fit around the hydraulic line. So we've got forks that fit on well. When I take the John Deere off the display, I will bend these in so it fits tighter. The flat 8 grab, I didn't have to do anything to, and that fits well. If you're ever wondering on this flat 8 why this one's bent, this is because so it fits on the Kubota. And then we got the bale spike, which it fits well on. So I might build another bale spike for this because this one's not quite wide enough, but it still fits. But the forks fit well. So all over, a very nice model. Really pleased with it. It's got really nice decals. So we'll get some pictures of it. So one thing that I forgot to mention that is fairly obvious, like you would have with all telehandlers, it does have crab steering, which is nice. Because I know some of the models we've had before, the crab hasn't been too great, but the way these models are built is so well, the crab works really well. So if you try and put this into crab, it doesn't work too well. But then this has probably got bent axles because this one's back from the carpet farming days. But anyway, so it works really nicely. So we'll get some pictures of them together. So I forgot to mention it, but in that, you can't really see it because there's tape over it, but in that hole there was this, which I'm not really sure what it is, so if you know, let me know in the comments. But to me it looks like a chock, so if you had it on a shelf it wouldn't roll off, but it might not be that, it might be something that clips on. So if you know, please let me know, it'd be useful. So another thing, I know it's another thing and another thing, but I just found, I was looking at the packaging a bit more on the inside of the box, and this here comes off, and this is your, can't remember exactly what they're called, but basically it's when you're working on it and you turn the machine off like that, say you're working under it, because hydraulics, when the engine's not running, they do slowly leak out. I say leak out, they lose pressure. So if you're working under it, so they do this in real life. So say you needed to do a hydraulic line under the arm, because there's quite a lot on here, it's really nicely detailed. You put that in, push it down, move the arm down until it's resting on it, and then you could turn the machine off and you wouldn't have to worry about this coming down and crushing your head. So that's a really nice feature. Didn't know that it was on there, so it's another reason I want to start getting some more of these Viking models, is you just get more and more things like this that you keep finding out on them. So we got it alongside the Class Arian, so that's just a bit of a size up for you. So they look well together, be good to set up some scenes with them. And just to sort of get a bit more side, that's sort of the size, so it is a fairly big handler. So that's pretty much it. As you can see, two very nice models, and we've now fixed the linkage on the Valtra, so it should allow me to do a lot more with it. So any questions you have, leave in the comments, and see you again soon.